Happiness. It's a word that echoes through the ages, a concept that has captivated philosophers and everyday people alike. We chase it, yearn for it, and build our lives around its pursuit. But what exactly is happiness? Is it a fleeting feeling, a state of mind, or something more profound? Imagine happiness as a mountain peak. From a distance, it appears singular, a defined point of arrival. Yet as we approach, we realize there are countless trails leading upwards, each path winding through different landscapes and presenting unique challenges ultimately aims for the same summit. Similarly, different philosophical schools of thought offer various maps for navigating the terrain of life and reaching the peak of happiness. Our journey begins in ancient Greece, where the philosopher Aristotle laid out a compelling vision of happiness known as, often translated as flourishing or living well, eudaimonia goes beyond fleeting moments of pleasure. It encompasses a deeper, more enduring state of fulfillment, a life lived in accordance with our highest potential. Aristotle's emphasis on virtue wasn't about adhering to a rigid set of rules, but rather about developing a balanced and harmonious character. He believed that true happiness stemmed from living in accordance with the golden mean, a state of balance between extremes. For Aristotle, the pursuit of happiness wasn't just about feeling good, but also about living a life worthy of our rational faculties. He believed that humans, unlike other animals, possessed the unique capacity for reason, and that true happiness involved engaging this capacity to its fullest. While Aristotle championed a life of virtue and intellectual pursuit, his contemporary Epicurus offered a different path to happiness. Epicurus believed that happiness was best achieved not through grand ambitions or complex pursuits, but through the simple pleasures of life. He taught that the greatest good was pleasure, not in a hedonistic, excessive sense, but in the form of tranquility, contentment, and freedom from pain. At the heart of Epicurean philosophy lies the concept of a state of mental tranquility and freedom from disturbance. Epicurus believed that much of our suffering stemmed from unfounded fears and anxieties, particularly the fear of death and the fear of the gods. He taught that by understanding the nature of the universe and our place within it, we could overcome these fears and attain a state of lasting serenity. Epicureanism wasn't just a set of abstract philosophical principles, it was a way of life, a practical guide to living a more fulfilling and contented existence. Epicurus and his followers established gardens in Athens, where they lived communally, striving to embody the principles of their philosophy in their daily lives. As we move from the ancient world to the modern era, we encounter a new set of philosophical perspectives on happiness. One such perspective, utilitarianism, emerged in 18th and 19th century England, offering a radical departure from the virtue ethics of Aristotle and the pleasure-centric philosophy of Epicurus. Utilitarianism, championed by thinkers like Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill, shifted the focus from individual happiness to the collective well-being of society as a whole. Central to utilitarianism is the principle of utility, often summarized as the greatest happiness principle. This principle dictates that we should always strive to act in ways that maximize happiness and minimize suffering. Bentham proposed a hedonic calculus, a system for quantifying happiness and pain, considering factors like intensity, duration, and certainty. While utilitarianism offers a compelling framework for promoting collective well-being, it has also faced criticism for its potential to overlook individual rights and the inherent subjectivity of happiness. One of the main criticisms is that its emphasis on the greatest good for the greatest number could justify the sacrifice of individual rights for the sake of the majority. Despite these criticisms, utilitarianism remains an influential ethical framework, shaping debates about social justice, public policy, and individual responsibility. Existentialism, creating meaning in an indifferent world. Existentialism grapples with existence, freedom, and the search for meaning in a world seemingly devoid of inherent purpose. It places the onus of creating meaning squarely on the individual. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast, undefined expanse, the weight of infinite possibilities pressing upon you. There are no predetermined paths, no universal truths, only the realization that we are condemned to be free, as Jean-Paul Sartre declared. With no external authority to dictate our values, we must create meaning in a world that seems inherently meaningless. By embracing the lack of inherent meaning, we free ourselves from societal expectations and predetermined destinies. We are free to define our own values, create our own purpose, and live authentically. Section 2, the burden and beauty of freedom. Existentialism doesn't shy away from the challenges of freedom. It recognizes that with the power to choose comes the weight of responsibility. Each choice we make, from the seemingly mundane to the profoundly life-altering, shapes the trajectory of our lives, contributing to the individuals we ultimately become. This realization can be both empowering and daunting. Imagine holding a paintbrush poised above a blank canvas. The possibilities are endless, yet the pressure to create something meaningful, something true to ourselves, can feel immense. This is the burden and the beauty of freedom, the constant awareness that we are the authors of our own lives, responsible for the choices we make and the consequences they bring. Existentialism encourages us to embrace this responsibility, to make choices that align with our authentic selves, even in the face of uncertainty and doubt. It reminds us that there is no predetermined script, no right or wrong answers, only the choices we make and the lives we create through those choices. This emphasis on personal responsibility can be both liberating and challenging. It requires us to confront our fears, to step outside of our comfort zones, and to embrace the unknown with a sense of courage and conviction. It demands that we live consciously, deliberately, and authentically, creating meaning in each moment through our actions and interactions with the world. Section 3. Finding happiness in the absurd, embracing the unknown. Existentialism embraces the absurd, the inherent meaninglessness of existence. Albert Camus argued that the human search for meaning is futile. We seek purpose in an infinite universe, creating tension and anxiety. Imagine pushing a boulder up a hill only to have it roll back down. This Sisyphean task is a metaphor for the human condition. We strive for meaning, yet the universe offers no guarantees. Camus proposed an attitude of defiant joy, celebrating the present moment. By embracing the absurd, we find liberation and joy in living itself. It's about finding meaning in everyday experiences, appreciating the beauty of a sunset, the joy of human connection. Existentialism encourages us to create our own meaning and embrace the absurd with courage and joy. As we've journeyed through the landscapes of Aristotelian virtue, Epicurean tranquility, utilitarian pragmatism, and existentialist freedom, we've encountered a striking diversity of thought on the nature of happiness. Each philosophy, like a unique lens, offers a different perspective on this elusive state, highlighting certain facets while casting others in shadow. Yet, despite their differences, these philosophies are interwoven by shared threads, common aspirations that speak to the fundamental human longing for a fulfilling and meaningful existence. At their core, all four philosophies recognize the importance of living in accordance with our nature, though their interpretations of that nature differ significantly. Aristotle sees human flourishing as inextricably linked to the cultivation of virtue, the pursuit of excellence through the development of our rational and moral capacities. Epicurus, in contrast, emphasizes our nature as creatures of sensation, advocating for a life that prioritizes simple pleasures, tranquility, and the fulfillment of our natural desires. Utilitarianism, with its focus on maximizing collective happiness, acknowledges our interconnectedness as social beings, recognizing that our individual well-being is often intertwined with the well-being of others. Existentialism, while emphasizing individual freedom and responsibility, also acknowledges the importance of authentic relationships and the search for meaning in a world often experienced as absurd and indifferent. These shared aspirations, despite their diverse expressions, point to a fundamental truth about the human condition. We are meaning-seeking creatures, driven by a deep-seated desire to live lives of purpose, connection, and fulfillment. Whether we find that fulfillment through virtuous action, pleasurable experiences, societal contribution, or the creation of personal meaning, the underlying goal remains the same: to live a life worthy of our unique human potential. So where does this leave us in our own pursuit of happiness? The philosophies we've explored offer valuable insights, but they also present us with a challenge to navigate the complex terrain of our own lives. There is no one-size-fits-all answer, no single philosophy that holds the key to universal happiness. We are invited to become active participants in our own pursuit of happiness, to experiment with different approaches, and to craft a philosophy of happiness that resonates with our own values and experiences. The journey to happiness is rarely linear, and the paths we choose evolve as we grow and change. The key is to remain open to new perspectives, to cultivate self-awareness, and to approach the pursuit of happiness with curiosity and compassion. For in the end, the most fulfilling journey is often the one we chart ourselves. As we conclude our exploration of happiness through the lenses of diverse philosophical perspectives, we find ourselves not with a definitive answer, but rather a profound appreciation for the complexity and individuality of the pursuit. There's no single formula, no magic potion to unlock lasting happiness. Instead, we've discovered a rich tapestry of ideas, each offering valuable insights into the human condition and our yearning for a fulfilling existence. From Aristotle's emphasis on virtue and the cultivation of our higher selves, to Epicurus's focus on simple pleasures and tranquility, from the utilitarian pursuit of the greatest good to the existentialist embrace of freedom and the creation of personal meaning. Each philosophy provides a unique framework for understanding happiness, yet none can claim to hold the absolute truth, for the path to happiness is as varied as the individuals who seek it. The beauty of this philosophical exploration lies not in finding a single right answer, but in embracing the multiplicity of perspectives and allowing them to inform our own unique journeys. Perhaps at different stages of our lives, we'll resonate with different philosophies, finding solace in the pursuit of virtue at one point, seeking refuge in simple pleasures at another, and embracing the freedom to create our own meaning in yet another. The key is to remain open to these shifting perspectives, to cultivate a spirit of curiosity and a willingness to continually examine our own beliefs about happiness. Life, after all, is a journey of growth and transformation, and our understanding of happiness is likely to evolve alongside our own personal experiences, challenges, and triumphs. As we move forward, let us carry with us not just the specific teachings of these great thinkers, but also the spirit of inquiry that fueled their explorations. The pursuit of happiness at its core is a deeply personal and introspective journey. It's about asking ourselves difficult questions, challenging our assumptions, and continually striving to live in alignment with our values and aspirations. It's about embracing the unknown, accepting the inherent uncertainties of life, and finding joy in the very act of seeking, growing, and evolving. The true reward of this philosophical exploration lies not in reaching a final destination, but in the process of discovery itself. For it is in the asking, in the questioning, in the relentless pursuit of understanding that we often stumble upon the most profound and enduring forms of happiness. So let us continue to ask why. Let us remain curious, open-minded, and compassionate towards ourselves and others as we navigate the complexities of life and strive to live in ways that bring both meaning and joy. The pursuit of happiness is a journey best shared, a continuous dialogue between ourselves and the world around us. May this exploration serve as a starting point for your own reflections, conversations, and discoveries as you continue to navigate the path towards a more fulfilling and joyful existence.